Bonjour.
Okay,
Howdy, y'all.
everybody look Canadian. Beautiful.
Wait.
It's perfect.
You gotta get in that picture, girl. Oh, Canadian, Eric.
1, 2, 3, say Canada.
Canada!
Yay.
Hi. So someone tell us how you say Fullmetal Alchemist in French. Well, it probably sounds better when you say it, because you've got that sexy, romantic French thing happening. Fullmetal Alchemist. Or whatever it is, I don't even know.
We might insult them with their bad French accents. I think we should stop before we get started.
Well, as long as we preface it by saying, I know my French accent sucks. So please don't take it as an offense. But I love you. Je t'aime. He shoots, he scores. I actually wrote my girl, you guys gave up her seat. I'll kill you. My girl's coming. I wrote a song for my girl called Je n'ai pas de mots, which translated means I don't have any words. Yes, it's like I have no words to express what I feel for you. She's just mad because I didn't write it for her. So hey, this is awesome. Apart from breaking your camera, this is great. We're so glad to be here. You, man, are huge. When did you grow so much?
I don't know, man.
Aaron is auditioning for Lurch in the new Addams Family movie, or Herman Munster in the remake of The Munsters. Man, I have missed you. You guys, Maxie is doing an amazing job with Brotherhood, but there's only one Aaron Dismuke, and I love my little brother Aaron. So I'm excited that we're here today.
Sorry, I'm putting that down.
What happened?
The thingy broke off the...
She broke it. The lanyard,
Yeah, the little...
the strap, the wrist strap.
The wrist strap is broken. Okay. They don't
Hey,
care.
baby.
Good morning.
Get out of that seat.
Michelle.
We have a seat for you.
Yay. So here we are, and this is a panel about Fullmetal Alchemist. So if you came to talk about some other show, you're in the wrong place.
You can talk about it.
Yeah, you can. Okay.
No one else will answer, but... is Brotherhood on up here? No, not yet?
Can you watch it subtitled on Funimation.com? Okay, that's good. That's something.
Well, cool. Let's see. Should we introduce ourselves? Is that really a good idea?
I'm Crispin Freeman.
I'm Vic McDermott.
I can't think of anything clever. I'm Aaron Dismuke.
Exactly. So I'll tell you what, let's go to question time. Let's just spend the time talking with you guys about anything you'd like to talk about. Yes?
How did you guys get drawn into Fullmetal Alchemist?
Good. That's a good plan.
They
Lauren.
chased us down. There was a tranquilizer gun involved. You're gonna record this show, whether you like it or not.
No, actually, it was the other way. I was the one with the gun. You will cast me, or I'll pull the trigger. I swear. No, how about you? Tell them how you kind of came to be Winry.
I was still very new at Funimation. I began working there in January of 2004. Sometime that summer, I believe, they had auditions for Fullmetal Alchemist, and up until that time, I had been doing some bit parts, and then I was cast in the lead of a show called Spiral. And so somebody heard me in that and said, make sure we have her audition for Fullmetal. I did, and I read for Rose and Lust and Al.
No, wait a minute, I gotta hear this. Okay, give us your best Lust.
Oh, she had a British accent, because Justin asked me, do you do dialects?
I would want to hear Lust with a British accent, wouldn't
What did she say?
Say, Greed, don't eat the old preacher just yet.
Greed, don't eat the old preacher just yet.
Really like it. Okay, now let's hear your best. Alphonse.
Brother!
I love it.
Anyway, so those are the parts that I read for, and then in the end, without even knowing what I was doing, they're like, okay, you're this little blonde girl. I'm like, all right. And for a while, Winry doesn't do much. I think her first line is, that sounds like Edward, like little tiny Winry, and then they're like, this is a pretty important role. I said, is it? Apparently it was, because when I went to a convention that fall, and I was just there, I was not a guest, I was just at the convention. It's actually the first time I met him. Somebody on a panel pointed me out in the audience, like one of the other voice actors, said, oh, and then there's Caitlin, and she's new, and she's Winry, and everyone's like, they're hounding me the rest of the time. So that's how I ended up being a part of the show, and the second time around, I still live there, so I got to keep doing the part.
I had done several shows at Funimation. The first show that I did at Funimation, I lived in Houston, Texas, and I worked for ADV Films in Houston. And then I met some people at Funimation, and I started doing some work up there. I did Dragon Ball Z, and Yu Yu Hakusho, and Kitty Grade, and Case Closed, and Spiral, and then they got Fullmetal Alchemist, and I went up to audition for it. And they have this book, an audition folder with sides, what they call sides, in it. It's basically one sheet of paper with a picture of the character, and then a paragraph describing the character, and then a handful of lines that the character would be likely to say. So, thank you. Is this vodka? That's good. And so I went up and I was leafing through the book and looking at the different characters. Now, mind you, I knew nothing about Fullmetal Alchemist. Had never heard of it. I had recently done a show called Fullmetal Panic. And so I thought, well, this is like the same thing. It's the same words. So I'm looking through the book and I'm looking at different characters. And what you do as an actor is you'll try to identify roles that you feel like you might be able to do a good job with. So I saw like Armstrong and I'm like, okay, he's huge. He's probably got this big booming voice. That's not gonna be me. So why read for him, right? And then I'm like, who's this robot? Yeah, he's probably too young. I probably can't do him. Who's this? Roy Mustang. He looks stupid. So then I come across this little kid in a red coat. Now, mind you, I don't know the show, which means he may have 10 lines. I don't know how he plays into the show at all. So I'm reading the description, and I'm like, okay, so Justin, a cook who was at the time originally going to direct Fullmetal, before he got promoted, he came out of the studio and he said, hey, did you look at the sides? Who do you want to read for? And I said, well, I kind of like this red coat kid. He looks fun. And Justin got this little smile on his face and he said, I hoped you would think that because I thought you might do a good job with him too.